Hello everyone, it's me again. My name is Hanfo and I'm 9 years old. Today I'm gonna read my book, Leonardo da Vinci. You ready? Let's go. So we have read a lot and now let's read more. So do you know what we need to be at chapter 6 all the way to chapter 8. Loses 98 20 pages. Let's do this. Chapter 6. The Bio of the Artist. Leonardo Michelangelo Raphael. Leonardo was one of the greatest artists of Renaissance. But he was not alone. The Renaissance in Italy was such a special time because it produced so many talented artists. Besides Leonardo, the two other greatest names belong to Raphael and Michelangelo. Raphael Sanzio was born in Urbino, Italy on April 6, 1483. He first learned to draw from his artist father. When he was 21, he went to Florence, where he studied the works of Leonardo and Michelangelo. In his day, Raphael was the most popular painter. His lovely pictures of Mary and the baby Jesus have a special sweetness and harmony. Its colors are strong and pure, never jarring. Everything in Raphael painting seems to be exactly where it belongs. Later in his career, he worked in Rome for the same pope as Michelangelo. Raphael painted two giant frescoes. One is called the School of Athens, which portrays the great thinkers of ancient Greece. Plato and Aristotle stand in the center. Sadly, Raphael died young on his 37th birthday. Michelangelo's full name was Michelangelo Buonarroti. He was born in Carpres, Italy in 1475. He had a long and successful career, but he didn't consider painting his true calling. He thought of himself as a sculptor first. He loved working in beautiful Italian marble. Besides his famous statue, David in Florence, another of his great works is one of Mary holding the body of Jesus. It's called the Pietà and was completed when he was only 23. The Pietà is built with sad tenderness, but Michelangelo is mainly known for creating strong, muscular figures. For a sculptor, however, he is most famous for painting the entire ceiling of a chapel for the Pope in Rome. The ceiling of the Sistine Chapel it took him 4 years, working on the scaffold 60 feet in the air. The fresco covers the stories in the Old Testament, starting with the creation of the world. Raphael was a great admirer of Leonardo's. Michelangelo was not. He didn't like Leonardo, and Leonardo didn't like him. It is hard to imagine two men who were more different. Michelangelo came from a well-off family but didn't wash or change his clothes often. He slept on the floor of his studio. He was also short. Leonardo was handsome, whereas Nistic, rude, and charming. 33 years younger than Leonardo, Michelangelo had become famous for a huge statue of David. Leonardo didn't think the statue was all that great, all athletes. That's what he said. In turn, Michelangelo made fun of Leonardo in public for never finishing his huge statue. He said, "You made a model of horse you could never cast in bronze and which you gave up to sorcery, and the stupid people will not have faith in you." When both were asked to paint a wall in the main government building of Florence, it became a fierce contest. The walls were to picture different sketches of famous battles that Florence had won. Again, the paintings were to be frescoes, pictures painted directly on the walls. The last time Leonardo had tried this was in the monastery for the Last Supper. The room was giant size. Leonardo's fresco was to measure about 60 feet by 24 feet. He began by making drawings. He wanted to scan full of action, with horse railing and soldiers fighting. The horror of what would come true too. The dead, the wounded howling in pain, the dust and blood. As Leonardo decided on a design, he made a cartoon which was transferred on the wall. Then he set up a scaffold with a platform that could move. This would allow him to work in comfort. The trouble was, Leonardo still did not want to make a fresco in his usual way. Once again, he tried an experiment. He found a way to use oil paints with coal fires to make the paints dry quickly. He tested as his experiment on the walls in his story, and it worked, but the test was done on a small patch covered area. Leonardo needed it to work on the great big areas, and it didn't. And the fires were placed close to the paintings it melted. If they were placed far away, there wasn't enough heat to make it dry. The top part of his battle scared ended up with black smoke. All brass red. After 3 years of hard work, Leonardo was left with nothing but a great big mess. As for Michelangelo, he didn't finish his work either. Maybe that was comforted by Leonardo. In 1504, Michelangelo was called to Rome by the Pope to start Archers. One was to paint the ceiling of the Pope's chapel, who knows it as the Sistine Chapel. Cartoons. No, we don't need to read that part. Oh, that's Mona Lisa! Chapter 7. Leonardo's Ladies. Not everything in Leonardo's career ended in failure, sometimes he actually finished the job. It is true that only 10 completed paintings are noted by Leonardo. That's a tiny number, but each and everyone is a treasure. Story is that in 1505, a rich young merchant wanted a portrait of his wife. He asked Leonardo to paint it. Leonardo had told his friends that he had grown weary of the French brush. He means that painting didn't bring him much joy anymore, but perhaps he needed the money, or perhaps the woman's face caught in his interest, especially his smile. Whatever the reason, Leonardo took the child, finished what painting, though he worked on it for many years. Nobody knows for sure what the woman's name was. First name had been Lisa. She may have been Lisa del Ghiaccio. In English, the painting is called Mona Lisa. What? In the portrait, only the top of Mona Lisa's body is shown. Beyond her is a landscape. A winding road leads back to craggy mountains that disappear in mist. Mona Lisa's back dress is very simple, and she does wear fancy jewelry. A thin black veil covers her long curling hair. Then as that, it was the custom for widows to wear black. So perhaps Mona Lisa was not a wife of silk merchants. Perhaps she was someone else about whom know nothing. It is one of the mysteries surrounding the painting. Her hands are crossed and rest one on top of the other. They are graceful with soft, long fingers. Look at them. It is easy to believe there is muscle and bone beneath the skin. It is possible to forget that her hands are just brush strokes of paint on a flat surface, but it is the expression on her face that draws people to her. What? How can he do that? Her lips are pressed together in a calm half smile. Yeah, that's right. She looks as if she is keeping a secret. Her eyes are full of mystery too. They appear to look at something only she can see. The Mona Lisa is probably the most famous painting in the world. Why? No one can really answer that question, but Leonardo loved the painting too. When he was finished, he decided to keep it. In fact, he kept it with him wherever he went for the rest of his life. Many people consider Bach's portrait of a woman by Leonardo even more beautiful than the Mona Lisa. It is all called Young Girl with Ermine. An ermine is a type of weasel. In winter, its coat is white, just as it appears in the painting. Ermine hairs were used for paintbrushes, so it's possible that Leonardo painted ermine with an ermine brush. Why is an ermine in the picture? It may be that as a play on words. The young girl's name was Cecilia Gallerani, and Gail in Greek means ermine. As in the Mona Lisa, only the top half of the young girl is fancy, but there's no landscape background. Neither sea nor the animal looks so that she's gazing off to the side, or what's in the Mona Lisa's, a long strand of beads is looped around her neck. Her wrist is past blue, past red, with gold lining and black trim. The fabric looks as if it's made of velvet. Mona Lisa is dreamy looking. The young lady here looks like she has quick, sharp mind. You can see it in her alert eyes. The center of math and chin. One hand holds the ermine closely against her shoulder. The ermine looks alert. In Charlatan too, the girl's hand is beautiful, is painted to perfection, but the thin fingers are tense. Mona Lisa's fingers are plump and relaxed. Through the poses and the faces, Leonardo catches the soul of two very different women. The young girl with ermine is not as famous as the Mona Lisa. It hangs in a museum in Krakow, Poland. Mona Lisa is in the Louvre, a famous museum in Paris where crowds come every day to see her. Which painting is more beautiful? People lucky enough to see both must decide that for themselves. Another Leonardo portrait of a young woman is in the National Gallery of Art in Washington, D.C. It is the only painting by Leonardo in the United States. Her name was Ginevra de Benshi. It is even smaller than the Mona Lisa or Young Girl with ermine. The bottom was cut off. The bottom was cut off at some point, so now the painting shows only Ginevra's head and chest. Her skin is almost ghostly pale. Her eyes seem sorrowful. It is very hard to read her expression. That is one of the reasons why people keep looking at the painting. Portraits of Ginevra de Benshi is haunting. Chapter 8. Losers. In 1404, Leonardo's father, Sir Piero, died. He was 78 years old. There was nowhere. Leonardo ended up receiving nothing. All the money went to Sir Piero's other children. Then in 1507, Leonardo's uncle Francisco died. He had been the only related to show him any affection. Francisco did have well. Everything was left to Leonardo. Francisco wanted Leonardo to have all his land and money, but Leonardo's half-brothers and sisters were furious. They went to court. Leonardo ended up getting was the use of Francisco land and money. After Leonardo died, it would all go to his relatives. Leonardo was over 60. He had health problems. He had no and not all that much to show for his many years of work, but at the time when he needed a patron, one appeared. The man appreciated Leonardo for the genius he was. He provided him with a lovely home and garden. He left Leonardo bring along Sala and his other good friend Francisco Mercy. All the main acts of Leonardo was his company. The man also happened to be a king. King Francis, one of France, had a grand house in Albans. That's in the northern part of France. Leonardo was given a beautiful brick and limestone house to live in. He brought along his book collection, his notebooks, and 3 of his paintings. One of them was the Mona Lisa. A tunnel connected the 2 houses. Each day he was in Albans. The king could come to visit and talk. He would pick a subject and ask Leonardo his opinions. The king evidently felt it was an honor simply to be in Leonardo's presence. And so Leonardo finished at his side in France. On May 2, 5019, he died. One story says that he died in the king's arms. Another says that his death were about to restore statue if he only been able to complete it. He was buried in a chapel in Albans. This may not be a happy ending, but it isn't a sad one either. So we have finished my reading. So goodbye and I'll see you later. Have a nice day.